All of that and so much more on Sports Bank this morning. I'm not alone. Feromi Adeboyega is also joining me this morning. Good morning, Feromi. It's great to see you.
Yeah, good morning to you, Blessing. Good morning to a wonderful listener. Wonderful Wednesday here to talk sport again. And of course, we're ready to actually do justice to all of that. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo in the news this morning talking about the fact that, a lot of people are actually disrespecting him with the kind of news that is in, at this point in time. I mean, it's just what it is. I think, like we were discussing before we actually came on here, some power that be just wants this move to happen, not as if this is what is actually going to happen the nearest, a couple of weeks or months at this point in time. I think, he's still got a contract with Juventus and it's not looking like he wants to actually leave at this point in time, because I think there's a new gaffer on board at this point in time, and I think, this is the man that can actually work with him and actually get the best out of that team, and of course of Cristiano Ronaldo at this particular point in time. So I think, comes with summer transfers, also comes with a lot of interesting rumors at this point in time. But hey, I don't think this one will actually come to reality. I think as this point in time, and probably in the nearest future, Cristiano Ronaldo is a Juventus player.
Well, I don't know if anyone saw Lionel Messi leaving Barcelona to join PSG. So if you say, it's never going to happen, maybe you've not learned a lesson at all. I mean, from what we saw from Lionel Messi moving to PSG. But of course, you know what they say in football, anything can happen. Definitely. You never can tell. Remember, we're streaming live on Facebook this morning. You can find us on Facebook. If you're not following us already, you need to do that ASAP. Go on Facebook, search for Splash FM 1055 Ibadan. And of course, like us this morning. We also have a post on Facebook we want you to join us in talking about. It's about the AFCON 2021 draws. In case you missed it, Nigeria have been drawn in Group D. It is not a group of death, but some are saying, is it tricky? Is it straightforward? What do you think about that group and of course the draws generally? So go on Facebook there, leave your comments, and let's get talking this morning. But before we go right into football, let's start with other sports, starting from tennis here, where British dwarf Yona Konta and Cameron Norrie suffered early exits from the Western and Southern Open in Cincinnati yesterday. Now Konta suffered a rain-interrupted 3-6, 7-6, 6-2 loss to Karolina Muchova in the first round, despite winning the opening set in style. Now Norrie, who had the chance of becoming the new men's British number one with a run into the quarterfinals, will have to wait a little longer after being beaten by Big 7 American John Isner. Now qualifier Idaho must wait to take to the court against top-ranked Ashley Barty after their match was postponed due to 2 rain delays. Away from tennis, straight into basketball, Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. It has been announced that Joel Embiid and 76ers have reached agreement on a multi-year contract extension. Now, while the sisters didn't disclose the contract terms, according to multiple reports, it is a 4-year supermax contract that will pay Embiid in the region of $196 million to keep him in Philadelphia through the 2026 and 2027 season. Now, Embiid, who is just 27, has 2 years remaining on the 5-year, $147.7 million maximum contract extension that is signed back in October 2017. Meanwhile, the NBA has announced the 5-game Christmas Day schedule that will feature a showdown between the star-studded Brooklyn Nets and the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, following a shortened off-season, the 2021-2022 regular season is scheduled to begin on the 19th of October with 2 games also showcasing the Nets and Lakers. The champion Milwaukee Bucks hosts the Nets, and Lakers will be visited by Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. Now, other games on the 25th of December slate include the Atlanta Hawks meeting the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden in a rematch of the Hawks' first round 5-game playoff series win, as well as Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks meeting Donovan Mitchell and the Utah Jazz in the Salt Lake City. The full schedule for the 82-game season will be released on the 20th of August. And now to Nigeria, we're getting ready for Afro Basket, and the NBBF has had to react to some news making the rounds in the media about one of their coaches, Alex Nwora, and the NBBF stating emphatically that the coach, Alex Nwora, remains an integral part of the senior men's national basketball team setup, as well as the basketball family in Nigeria. Now, the Federation said the technical crew remains intact, while shedding more light on the recent rumors about the resignation of Coach Nwora after the 2020 Olympic Games there in Tokyo. Now, Nwora, remember, guided the team to the 2017 FIBA Afro Basket silver medal in Tunisia before picking the 2019 FIBA World Cup ticket, and then it was named as associate head coach following the arrival of renowned Golden State Warriors coach Mike Brown. Now, the NBF president, engineer Musa Kida, announced, speaking with newsmen in Lagos, assessing the team's performance at the game, said the coaching crew remains intact and we will be working closely with Brown. I'm going to take a moment for us to listen to Engineer Musa Kida here, what he said about Alex Nwora still being a part of the team, despite reports saying this man doesn't seem to be happy.
There is Coach Alex Nwora, though, who in recent times has had a few challenges, on the home front by way of health. Who has also expressed that he wants to actually be more present in his job. The college team that he of which is his coach, and so on and so forth. So Alex, would be somebody who will be doing a touch and go. Coach Udofia is there full time, and so on and so forth. So everybody is there. Everybody is going to be made available when they can for them to still be on my team's bandwagon. But I do have full confidence in that team.
Okay, the president of the Nigerian Basketball Federation, Engineer Musa Kida, they're talking about having full confidence in that team. I don't know if Fermi also has full confidence in that team.
Well, when it comes
we've been tinkering with the coaching department. I also heard definitely about the Patriots coach that led the coach that led the Patriots to the Basketball African League in Rwanda, also joining the Tigers squad. Yeah. I mean, do you have confidence?
A lot of back and forth with this particular team. But when it comes to, playing on the continent of Africa, I've always got, let me say, 90% confidence in them because, whether we like it or not, I think, to some extent, their shoulders above other teams right here in Africa. And that is at one thing. At the moment,
I mean,
definitely.
we're not there at some point. It was all about Angola.
But right now, we are actually there. But, these things actually come with the fact that you have a balanced, coordinated backroom staff. Because if you do not have that and you think that your boys will actually perform on the court, you might just as well be deceiving yourself to some extent. So I think, they should try as much as possible to make things, work for themselves, to balance this. I think these are just rumors. I think if Alex Nwora was definitely going to resign from his post at this point in time, he would actually come out to actually announce himself. The moment I got that news yesterday and there was no official announcement from him or NBBF, I knew that, this could be some kind of fishy, journalism right there. So, and now that, they've actually come out to clear things.
But it may not be exactly fishy. The man may be unhappy and be trying to, just slip some things into the media. I mean, this could be his way of getting a response from the federation. Definitely. You have a point in that regard. But then, as long as it's yet to actually come out, saying that he has actually left, could be very, very, extreme in that regard. But at this point in time, that everything has actually been cleared, I think, what is just left for MBBF to actually bring these guys together, the backroom staff, make sure that they are well coordinated in order to help those boys do very well when they eventually start the Afro basketball, tournament in that particular one as well. And I think, if they can actually do that, who says we can actually bring it home again this time around? Because we've got a quality. I've always said it. I think this is a very decent squad that can always actually compete on the highest level. I was disappointed with the outing at the Olympics to some extent, but I think this time around, this is another huge opportunity to actually right their wrongs again, for the people of Nigeria. And I think they will do that. Okay, maybe we expected too much at the Olympics, but of course we are looking forward to a successful outing there at the Afro Basket. Away from basketball, let's come down to athletics. All about the World Athletics Under 20 Championship, where Nigeria is ready to gun for success. Athletes from over 200 countries have arrived in Nairobi for the championship, which begins today at the Kasarani Stadium, Nairobi, and will run until the 22nd of August. Now, Team Nigeria was not at the Parade of Nations at the opening ceremony yesterday, but that was due to no fault of theirs. I mean, the athletes spent hours waiting in the stadium for the opening ceremony to commence, but the local organizing committee that's in Nairobi, Kenya, were late. The athletes had to return to their hostels so they can get adequate rest before the event starts today. And Team Nigeria has officially begun a chase for medals this morning. First off, at 7 a.m. Nigerian time and 9 a.m. in Kenya, it was the mixed 4x400 meter heats where Nigeria under 20 easily won heat 2 in 3 minutes 21 seconds ahead of Italy and South Africa, who also came in third to qualify. And the Nigerian under 20 team of the 4x400 meter heats comprised of Johnson, Mani, Ella Onojuevo, we have Okoyemi, Deborah Oke, and Bamidele Ajayi. I trust that we had a better strategy this time around.
Yeah, definitely. I think like we actually said yesterday, I think there's a very huge opportunity for AFM to make sure that things is well much coordinated and they give out a better result. I mean, what we saw at the Olympics was so shameful and very, very disgraceful to the people of Nigeria. And this time around, this is another huge opportunity to make sure that they still actually put their put themselves in a good book of Nigeria right there. And it looks like they've actually started on a very good note. Hopefully, they can continue with this, because it's not how well you start, but how well you actually finish that really matters at this point in time.
Okay, maybe I should explain what I mean a bit about strategy. If you remember the 4x100 meter relays at the Olympics, where we had the strategy that kind of cost us.
Yeah.
We started, two guys started. I mean, we had the lady taking off I think it was the last lap, and they had opened up a gap, and then others had to come in, and they eventually overtook the lady. I think it was a Patience Okonjo. I can't remember precisely right now, but we started with a guy, a lady, but other nations started with a guy, and then they had two women in between running, taking the second lap and third lap, and then the guy taking
finish
the last lap. That was a
yeah.
strategy, and I trust that we had corrected that. But of course, we won our heat, so all the best to them as they continue there. At 7:35 a.m. Nigerian time, that's gone about 10 minutes ago, but it hasn't started. The women's 100 meter heat, where we have Praise Ofoko competing in heat 2. There's Tima God Bless as well competing in heat 3. That has not started right now. It should have started 10 minutes ago, but it hasn't started. I'm looking at the World Athletics website right now. No results yet. At 8:20 Nigerian time, we have the men's 100 meter heat, where Gotsen Brume will be running in heat 1. Favor Ashe will be running in heat 2. Gotsen Brume, this guy, the younger brother of AC Brume, we always talked about, he has things going well for him at the moment. He has run the fastest time in 100 meters at that age in this year. And the good news for him this morning is that he has been snapped up by the Louisiana State University. He has signed for them. So after this, young man will be moving straight to the United States of America. Absolutely incredible. I mean, he will be joining his sister right there in the US. At 9:15 a.m., we'll have women's 400 meter heats. We have Nse Maobong competing in heat 3. Okpayemi Oke competing in heat 1. At 9:40 a.m. Nigerian time, we'll have Dubem Amene in heat 2. Bamidele Ajayi in heat 3. That's in the men's 400 meter heats. And the afternoon session, we'll have the women's 100 meter semi-final, if we have athletes that qualify. And then we also have the men's javelin through qualification group A, and the men's 100 meter semi-finals if our athletes get to qualify from their heats. And the mixed 4x400 meter final will be coming up later today at 3:15 p.m. Away from that, let's go straight into football. Talk about the African Cup of Nations, the draws made for the delayed event. This is how the groups are. In Group A, we have Cameroon, the host nation, Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, and Cape Verde. In Group B, we have Senegal, Zimbabwe, Guinea, and Malawi. And in Group C, it is Morocco, Ghana, Comoros, Gabon. In Group D, Nigeria, Egypt, Sudan, Guinea-Bissau. In Group E, it is Algeria, Sierra Leone, Equatorial Guinea, Ivory Coast. And in Group F, Tunisia, Mali, Mauritania, and Gambia. Talk about Nigeria's group first and foremost.
Yeah,
is it tricky?
definitely.
Is it straightforward?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much straightforward on paper. I think, there should be nothing tricky about this with the kind of, quality we've got in our squad playing against the Sudan, Guinea-Bissau. Well, I think, it's football. They say anything can happen, but there are some things that should not happen with some kind of, national team. And that's talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I think for me, all things being equal, Nigeria and Egypt should get a straight qualification to the next round in this particular one. Sudan, Guinea-Bissau, they are not really a powerhouse when it comes to football on the continent of Africa. And of course, at this point in time, we'll be drawn alongside them. So I think we should just take the opportunity to be able to actually get all things done. And this time around, I think there's another opportunity for Raw to actually, do well more than what it did the last time. Finished third and the last, AFCON, and this time around, we want something better than what he did the last time out.
Somehow I can't get my mind off that free kick by Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah, definitely.
Plunged our hearts generally. But this is an expanded nation scope, and we have many countries, a couple of countries making a debut. But looking at the draws generally, who do you think has the toughest challenge here?
Toughest challenge. I don't think there is any group of death for me. I think,
of course, no group of death. But
I think
who has it more tough?
More tough as regards the big teams.
Yeah, I mean, who have to go head to head against each other, and might have troubles qualifying at the end of the day.
Yeah, probably if you look at let me say maybe Group E, in that one where we have the defending champion, talking about Algeria, Sierra Leone, Equatorial Guinea, and of course Africa Coast. Maybe I would say that to some extent because maybe the likes of Sierra Leone want to actually prove a threat in that one as well, and of course Equatorial Guinea in that one. But I think all things being equal, talking about the defending champion, they should be able to get the needed results in that one, and of course Africa Coast as well should be able to actually qualify alongside them in that one as well. But talking generally about this particular group, I think it's pretty much balanced. We can actually on paper pick out the two teams that would actually qualify based on the quality and what they've actually done in the past in the African Cup of Nations, and I think that is just what is going to happen when the African Cup of Nations eventually starts.
Okay, what are you saying on Facebook this morning? Remember, we have a post there. We're talking about the draws. What do you make of the draws? I'm just going to take some comments real quick. Abu Kasim says, good morning to you in the studio. I believe Nigeria will scale through from the group, but at the same time, we should not underrate any team. We could all remember our last group match in the last AFCON against Madagascar. Imagine we lost to Madagascar 2-0. It says it was unbelievable. So therefore, it could be tricky. Don't be too confident. That's what Abu Kasim is saying. Daniel Osinachi says Egypt might actually be a problem, but I'm confident we are going to make it through, except Super Eagles are not ready to put in their best. Good morning, he says. Of course, I remember Coach Janotro has been talking about how, he didn't want us to be drawn against Egypt or Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast, but
Egypt at the end of the day. Okay, still more comments here. Taiwo Sunday says 2022 is the year of AFCON and World Cup. If Super Eagles was so higher, they have to beat the best. Nothing special in Group D. That is what it says. Okay, Abu Kasim, I've taken your comment. Thank you so much. And then it says, no group of death. You are correct. 4 best losers inclusive. Thank you so much. Keep those comments coming in via our Facebook page. We're talking about the draws, AFCON 2021 draws, delayed AFCON 2021 draws, as a matter of fact. What do you think about the groups? How do you think Nigeria will fare? Okay, we're taking our business outside of Africa, outside of Nigeria right now to talk about the German Super Cup. I mean, Bayern Munich defeating Borussia Dortmund to retain the German Super Cup. In 6 outings, they've won 5. But Alan, it was impressive again.
Yeah, definitely. It was actually impressive. When you actually want to get to the big teams, you have to be able to give what you have when you play against them. And that is what this man has been able to do so far since he actually got to Borussia Dortmund. He's been very, very, key to whatever they actually achieved right there so far, that he has been actually in that particular club. And he continues to do that. But, talking from the angle of Bayern right there, talking about Julius Nagelsmann, I knew this was another huge opportunity for him to actually, tell the people of the world that, hey, I've got what I'm doing right here. I know what I'm doing, and I can actually get, the best out of this team at this point in time. And he actually did that perfectly well. A response to playing out a draw during the league just last week. But this time around, he's actually gotten his first trophy right there with Bayern, and that's a very, very fantastic one. So probably he can actually build on this and continue. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him, to make sure that he actually delivers, to continue from where his predecessor actually stopped, and he must actually be able to.
And to think that he didn't win any game in preseason.
In preseason, a huge one. But this time around, he's been able to actually make a statement. Hopefully, he can actually continue with that. And of course, so him making a statement, the man talking about Lewandowski is going to be very, very instrumental to that particular one.
Okay, Julian Nagelsmann at 34 finally has a trophy to his name. We're going to go on a break right now for the BBC Premier League updates. When we return, we'll wrap up Sports Bank this morning. Stick around.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Al Ross at BBC Sport, and Chelsea have sold striker Tammy Abraham to Roma for $47 million. Abraham was Chelsea's joint top scorer last season, and he joins the Serie A club managed by the former Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho on a 5-year deal. The Italian football journalist Mina Rizzucchi says Mourinho's putting a lot of faith in Abraham to deliver goals for his side.
They did really take a leap of faith in him. Jose Mourinho really feels that with him, he could bring out the best in Tammy Abraham. And considering the fact that they've also gotten an Uzbek striker called Shmuradov, they think that together they can be something special. Now, Edin Dzeko has left the club, and he was the 3rd highest scorer for Roma. And the number 9 shirt has been something that's it's so important for them. And they gave that to Tammy Abraham, which just shows the sign of faith that Mourinho has in him to lead the squad.
Former Manchester City defender Micah Richards believes club record signing Jack Grealish poses a tactical dilemma for manager Pep Guardiola. Grealish made his Premier League debut in the 1-0 loss at Tottenham, and Richards thinks it's still unclear where his best position in this City side is.
Where I think Jack is most devastating he's on that left wing coming in inside like Mahrez on the other side. But of course, you've got Sterling who loves to play on the left. He offers something different because he's a dribbler, but I'd say Jack's a better dribbler. He keeps the ball more. Sterling's better at running in behind. So already you've got a little bit of a... It's not a problem, but it's, well, where does he fit into this system?
And for more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Okay, we are about to be kicked out of the studio this morning, but I'm going to take one more comment on Facebook. This is from Olukoya David Adebowale. He says AFCON 2022. The Super Eagles will definitely prevail in this group. First off, it is AFCON 2021 because it should have been held this year, but postponed because of COVID-19. So it retains its name as AFCON 2021.
Just like Olympics 2020.
Just like the Olympics Tokyo 2020.
Yeah.
So your parting shot this morning.
Yeah, parting shot. I mean, amazing one for Nigeria. Hopefully they can actually make good of this particular group now at this point in time. And Raw, we don't want any rubbish.
Okay, that's our final shot this morning. Thanks for being a part of Sports Bank. We're back here this evening for Just Football at 4 p.m. and tomorrow Sports Bank makes a return. My name is Blessing Fowowe and I've worked with Fermi Adeboyega and Boss Clef this morning. Have a great Wednesday morning. Au revoir.
Here is
105.5.
Accessing
105.6.
one station, all the hits.
105.5. Splash.
Bode, now what do you dey find for kitchen?
My dear, na spoon to